Across the state have more money than expected on the way for next school year. And Governor Newsom's final budget sets aside extra funds specifically for what's called community schools.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. Speaking of community schools, I visited one of them in City Heights to see what sets them apart and how the additional money will help the kids who need it the most.
So I work in the black hut. Isaiah works in the field, and Matthew works right here in the blue structure.
Community schools are like ecosystems. At Hamilton Elementary, everyone has their role, even students like Adam Tahir.
Making sure everyone's following all these expectations. To be safe, to be kind, and be responsible.
There are 4 student staff positions. Some of the students work here in the cafeteria as managers, or maybe they work here at the bathrooms as safety managers. Other students like to hang out here in the front office. They're operators and they help with the morning announcements.
Students were like, hey, we want leadership jobs. Like, we want to be the ones encouraging students to be their best self. We want it to come from us and elevate our powers.
Dr. Brittany Daly is Hamilton's principal. It's a community school because at least 80% of its students are low income, in foster care, or are learning English. But it's also a community school because it asks everyone, from students to teachers, parents, and beyond, what they need to be successful. And then it uses state funding to make that happen. The latest state budget included an extra $22 billion educators didn't expect, thanks to major tax revenue from artificial intelligence companies.
I think I was pleasantly surprised to see that this was being prioritized.
San Diego Unified Community Schools Director Jason Babineau has been pushing for funding in Sacramento. He says after countless months trying to get legislators to understand what a community school does and how important they are, they're finally coming around.
What I appreciate is that there's value and there's intention behind this. So I believe it's a step in the right direction.
The district hopes the momentum from this funding allows it to create more community schools in high-need areas. From City Heights, Shondell Maniz.
He has to make sure no one's throwing those.
And BC7.
He has to make sure no one's trying to throw those over the fence.
Adam means business. San Diego Unified plans to add 4 more community schools to the 35 it already has next school year.
Okay, let's talk about these community school designations. How does a community school function differently than other schools?
So that's a great question, because even when I was learning about this initially, a lot of people think, well, isn't every school a community school? You know, but they are in some ways, but community schools also function as neighborhood hubs of sorts, because they support not just the student, but their entire family, and they have special designated funding from the government to be able to do that too.
So it's a special designation that a school can have. What qualifies someone as a community school? Or
so
an institute, a school as a community school?
Of course. So a school has to have at least 80% of its student population be either low income, in foster care, or learning English. And Hamilton, they have 98% of their student body low income.
So what are going to be the long and short term effects of this type of funding?
So in the short term, it looks like getting more student jobs like Adam's there, being able to really focus on what the kids need to be able to show up to school. If parents need a bus pass to be able to bring the kids to school, if they need a mattress, if they're, they have that kind of financial strap there, they can do that. But in the long term, it allows for more community schools to exist. We're having 4 more next school year with San Diego Unified, but we can keep the ball rolling with more funding.
Okay. What